Last week, I spent 24 hours building a giant city in The Sims 4, and it is an absolute monster of a build. And I thought, what would be even cooler than building the biggest city that I've ever built in The Sims 4, building an entire city underneath it. So in the back here, we have this beautiful cathedral. Behind it is a graveyard. So in the corner of the graveyard, I added a ladder, and that will lead us down into the catacombs, which will be the starting point for our underground city. Now, I have been debating on how to even film this video because building an underground city is going to be annoying. There are a few functions in The Sims 4 that just don't work underground. And why is that? Because we're not supposed to do this. I don't think the Sims team imagined that people would be building cities in the basement. I think that they thought basement building would be reserved for, you know, the crappiest room in the house. You go down there to watch movies with friends, eat some snacks, and pass out. That's why we're not able to add basic things down there like roofing, because why would we need to? You can't build any fences outside of a room. Like, basically, everything we have to do has to be enclosed in a room. And to top everything off, I'm building below this monstrous city, which is already making my computer make some questionable sounds. Honestly, I'm a little concerned, but it's fine because if I can pull this off, it will be so cool. So we're going to be attempting this together. But before we get started today, I have been on a hunt for new cozy games lately. I'm trying to expand my cozy game horizon, if you will. So I am so excited that Heartopia is sponsoring this video because they have been on my radar for a while now. Heartopia is a multiplayer life simulation game, and it checks all of the boxes I'm looking for in a cozy game. Like, first of all, you can build. I love building in games, obviously. And Heartopia gives you the tools to create your dream home. You can build and furnish, turn your visions into reality, and invite your friends over to build together. You can explore a variety of different hobbies, like you can enjoy gardening, fishing, bird watching, and more. And of course, there's a social element too. You can chat and develop friendships with the residents of Heartopia town, and you can even host parties and invite your friends. I'm also in love with the character style and the outfits in this game. There are over 1,000 different options to choose from, and you can mix and match outfits to express your mood and show off your personal style. And in exciting news, Heartopia will be collaborating soon with My Little Pony. Look at these adorable My Little Pony inspired outfits. I am so excited for this collab. Heartopia is now available on PC, the App Store, and the Google Play Store, and you can use code Heartopia0108 to receive 100 Moonlight Crystals. So check it out now using the link in my description below. And thanks again to Heartopia for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. So to set this up, first of all, what I had to do was page all the way down into the basement. We are as far down as we can go. There are 4 basement levels, and I'm gonna build a giant room across the entire thing. I then did the same thing 3 more times, so we have 4 levels of 1 giant room down here in the basement. The ladder to get down here is also very, very tall. Like, it's gonna take Sims a hot minute to get down here, because in order for this entire operation to not mess up what I've got going on upstairs, I have to click anywhere in the center of it and grab hold of this thing. This operates the same way as foundation upstairs, except down here it'll just bring your basement lower or higher depending on where you want it to be. I want it to be all the way down because that way I can place bigger items down here, and then I won't have to worry about them peeking through up here and ruining the rest of my build. And then finally, just so it looks better, I'm gonna page all the way down again, and I'm gonna size up these debug rocks. My goal is just to cover all of the wall pieces that are down here, so we'll have to page up like a couple more times as we go, but I just feel like doing this is gonna make it look a lot better. So now that I have all of my rocks added, we're left with this, which is kind of beautiful in itself actually. But let's start off by building a room for our ladder to lead into, because right now we're just leading into Rockland. We're gonna give our little tunnel some wallpaper. I like this one from Jungle Adventure. It has like a cool shine to it depending on which way you look at it. And then I think I'll also use this rock flooring from Jungle Adventure too. So that's just our ladder room. Then we're gonna lead into the catacombs. I'm gonna be adding the lighting as we go because, you know, it's a little dark down here. Like I said, our building process is gonna be a little weird here today, so I'm gonna go straight to adding windows. I'm gonna add columns out here. I'm gonna basically add everything we would need to the exterior of the building. Like, I want to add a bunch of plants down here. I want this entire aesthetic in general to look very overgrown, very abandoned. Well, it'll appear to be abandoned, but it's not going to be. I want this entire lower level to be run run by occults. I'm thinking specifically vampires because like that just makes sense in a basement city. Especially, I mean, I want to imagine that this city is like thousands of years old. Maybe human Sims lived down here at one point, but for now it's owned and run by vampires. But I'm not opposed to adding like other occult markets down here. Maybe we could have a spellcaster portal and everything. It'll be cool. Now I'm going to grab hold of this room that I made and I'm going to copy it, and we're going to page down, and I'm going to add this room perfectly underneath the one upstairs. Then I'm going to grab hold of it again and do the exact same thing. So it doesn't quite look like it yet, but this building is going to be 3 stories high. At the moment it's separated by the flooring, but we're going to get rid of that. Don't worry. Oh, and don't mind this guy. He's fine. At the end of my 24-hour build, he had this moodlet. He doesn't like my build, I don't like him. He bugged me at the end of the 24 hours that I built last time, so he's gonna be testing for us today. Back to our catacombs. What I'm gonna do right now is take some stairs, and I'm holding control on my keyboard. That way the game knows I don't wanna place these upstairs. I already have a ladder for that. I wanna place these down below. So now we have our stairs leading down, but I want this build to have depth. So what I'm gonna do here is build a wall, and then using my hammer tool, I just deleted this flooring. So now you're going to be able to see down into the second level. This deleting the flooring situation is going to be actually quite common in this build, but for now we're going to finish off this building. I want to add one of the stone grave sites. This one actually has a plaque here, and we can change it up to look a little more old. I've added 3 of them, but I want to make sure Sims can actually walk through here still. So come on, Hugo, it's your time to shine. All right, I just need you to take a little stroll here for me. Okay, and we're good. I would love statues down here too. I just actually found this one from Life and Death. I mean, how creepy is that? And I feel like this could also be a tombstone. So you know what? I think I'll keep these for the lower level. Those can be on the bottom floor of the catacombs, but this guy, I want him to be able to be seen from the balcony floor. I feel like that would just look cool. Oh my gosh, and maybe he can be surrounded by the creepy goat. I'm sorry, but how scary is that? And it's super tall, so like this makes sense why there's no ceiling. That is terrifying. And then I feel like, of course, we're gonna need some orbs in this room. That guy's already got one. I don't think I'll go overboard. I'll even shrink it. Are the orbs overkill? I don't know. Maybe I'll just add some plants and like some cracks on the wall a little bit in here. And the final items we need before moving on are skeletons. So I'm gonna add these from Jungle Adventure. I think I'll add some of them like facing outside of the window. Excuse me, sorry. And actually we'll add some down here guarding these grave sites. Ooh, and torches would be cool. Yup. Okay, we're done in the catacombs. For now, maybe we'll come back, but we have a whole city to build. All right, back up to the top floor of our basement. I'm gonna start building other rooms beside the catacombs, and we're gonna approach this in the exact same way. I'm gonna add lighting, I'm adding a different Jungle Adventure wallpaper, and I'm gonna add in some different windows. I've really grown to love the selection from Life and Death. They have such beautiful windows, and they're perfect for this build because some of them are cracked, and I wanna have that worn look. And then once I have everything added in here, I'm not gonna furnish these yet. I'm gonna wait until later. I'll work on getting the structures all finished first, but I'm gonna copy this again, and I'm gonna page down and place it again right below. And again, we'll repeat that one more time. And I'm gonna continue along with that same method, like adding the room, then adding the windows, copying the room, and adding it down to the lower level. We're gonna rinse and repeat until we have a few buildings lined up like this. I know that this makes like no sense right now, but trust me, it will in like 2 seconds. So right now I'm adding some fencing. This is eventually gonna be like a walkway for our Sims. So I've added it along the top floor, and then I'm gonna page down and we're gonna add it along the bottom floors as well. I'm adding different flooring to these. And then to connect the buildings, I want to be adding archways everywhere. They're just going to be intertwined throughout this city. I feel like it's going to be a very open sort of world, except for the residential lots. Obviously, those will be more sectioned off, but a lot of these are also going to be shops, restaurants, etc. And I want everything to be easily accessible. So now that we have some of the city laid out, I'm going to take my fence again and I'm going to carve out an area to delete. This is where I was saying it's going to get a little weird. I'm going to take my hammer tool and I'm going to delete this in the middle. And okay, there we go. We have successfully deleted part of it. So we're going to like carve out these buildings. Like, see how now I can see down into the bottom floor? There might have been a much easier way to do this. Honestly, I did test this out. I practiced like a lot, and I feel like this is the best way to manipulate it that I've found. So this is what I'm going to do. Now I should just be able to grab the hole that I've made and I'll bring it all the way over. And yeah, we've carved out the rest of it. I'll just add some columns down below to hold up the fencing so you can kind of see where this is going. We're saving non-stop at this point. I genuinely cannot believe my computer didn't crash while building the 24-hour build, and I essentially took that as a green light. I probably shouldn't have, but here we are. Okay, so I have carved out as much as I possibly can for now. I'm gonna just go in and add more lighting over here so that we can see what we're doing, because I carved everything out except for this fence walkway, and that's gonna lead over to this side, which is gonna be the next side of our city. And I think we can yeet this third floor for now. I'm gonna bring it all the way over to the edge. I'll do the same thing over here, so those are gonna be the only 3-story buildings that we have. So we've got this for now, right? It looks super cool, but the only issue is there's no roofing. I couldn't even bring the roofing tool in here if I wanted to. What we can do instead is fence the roofing. So now on the second floor of the basement, we're gonna work on another building. We're still continuing with the same method, like bringing it down, but I want to build a fence up here, and since I deleted all of the flooring, like brought it all over to the edge, now there's not going to be any flooring for this floor. Like, see what I mean? It's such a mess. So I'm just gonna build a room. So like we have that, right? And then we're just gonna yeet the rest, just trimming it up. I again can't explain why this is happening, why we have to do it this way. I don't know, but we do. Ooh, another thing that bothers me about building cities in the basement is we can't have any trim down here. You have to add this to rooms above ground. But Jungle Adventure does have a wall trim that you just add on manually, and this is what we're gonna use to add detail to our buildings. I don't think it looks too bad either. It does the job. I'm gonna have to shrink it to make it work on this side, but other than that, it looks kind of cute. And also what we could do, we could use some of these horizontal plants as trim. I'm gonna add some of this trim detailing onto my other buildings, and there's different swatches too. So it looks like we're gonna have different kind of options. Okay, I'm gonna repeat this same process right next to this one. So we'll have maybe 1 or 2 more like roofed buildings, and then I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Okay, so after carving everything out, this is how our city is looking. I ended up adding 2 more buildings over to this side, and I added 1 more over here to the left, so there's like 1 more little roofed part connecting to the main buildings. It's kind of hard to really get down here and show you, but here it is on the 2nd floor. Obviously, I still need to add more like outdoor details and everything like that. Let me go in live mode because I did add some torches. I also obviously added the pool all the way around, so since we weren't really building on the 4th floor, that I reserved completely for the pool. And 1 more cool feature I did add for the floor is you can see there's like a reflection. So what I did along the top ceiling was I added this flooring from Horse Ranch. It's got like the stars and the clouds on it, so you can actually see the reflection of that in the water. So yeah, quite the complicated build we've got going on, but now we can start to furnish. Like I said, I want occult market stalls down here, so I'm gonna add these. They're from Realm of Magic, and you can purchase things like magical ingredients from here. You can purchase broomsticks. There's a wand shop. I purposefully left a hole in this area so you could see the market down below. Let me hire some vendors actually. Come on, Hugo. Hopefully they can find their way. Oh my gosh, cool. Wait, it just opened up. Is it a ghost? Oh, I'm excited. Okay, we've got the crystal one open, and now we're just waiting on this purple one. I believe the wand shop. There we go. And they're all ghost sims. How cool is this? I feel like they're automatically hired as ghost sims for these like little shops. I'm obsessed. This just got me so excited. I also figured I should add some fairy homes. Not really sure what a fairy would be doing down here, but maybe a dark fairy looking for apothecary ingredients. And then over in the center here, I think I want to add this fountain. That is from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, and it's like this overgrown fountain. I feel like it just makes sense for this build, even though there's water everywhere. And I'm adding this circular flooring underneath from Journey to Batu. Wait, this item is a bench from Journey to Batu? I didn't know that. It says market bench. I think Sims can like sit around the edge. Interesting. Okay, maybe I'll put that somewhere. I don't know. I feel like it's cool and it matches our aesthetic. Also up here, I had to add some wreckage. Like I found these little pillars that have fallen down, just like ruin items from Get Together. So I've added our own little graveyard down here, and anywhere that I think needs it, I'm adding more skeletons. And I think I want to start first with the building next to the catacombs. I've had this idea for a while now where I want to build a vampire hotel, not Hotel Transylvania, okay? Not that kind of hotel. I'm picturing a very old, very creepy vampire hotel where the beds are coffins. I've even thought about doing like a pod hotel where the coffins are stacked, but it doesn't work work. I've tried it. So I've changed over the wallpaper in here and I'm gonna change over the lighting to red. I want a rug leading down the middle. This is gonna be like the check-in room. We're going to have a check-in counter, but behind it we'll have these from Life and Death. This can be our counter. We'll add some of these cash registers, not that you need them to like check in or anything, but just for the visual. And of course we need some vampire pictures in here too. We can maybe have like a little seating area, like a lobby, an old fireplace between these two. And I just want like candles galore. And then I'm thinking behind the check-in counter, like usually when you're in like a nice hotel, the check-in counter can be equipped with things you need. So what if we added little plasma packs down here? There's also plasma in drink form. If you have eco lifestyle, you can make like a fizzy plasma drink, which is really cool. And if you have the Sims 4 horse ranch, you can make plasma wine or plasma nectar, whatever you want to call it in the PG-13 Sims. But now our hotel is fully stocked. We can have like a backup cabinet over here. I don't know what's in here. I think it's like an apothecary cabinet. And okay, there we go. Now we've got our little check-in counter. Lucky you, Hugo. Luckily, they won't be using Hugo as food. Okay, let's go build our rooms. So I just turned this guy into a vampire. Messing with this family is kind of fun. I did this so I could show you their needs, and vampires don't have to use the bathroom. So bathrooms are not gonna have to be a priority in this hotel. They technically don't even need to sleep. I mean, they have vampire energy, which they can replenish by sleeping, but they can also end up using dark meditation. So basically what I'm saying is these hotel rooms don't have to be anything crazy. Like we can give them a coffin. That's gonna be their bed. This one is from Life and Death. Can they sleep in this one? Okay, yes, good. I'm glad those are like cross compatible or whatever. So yeah, they each get a coffin. What else? Maybe a mini fridge so they can store their plasma. So each of them will get one of those. I can raise up some creepy lighting on top of the fridge. Oh, we could add the cadenza, like the curtain arches from Life and Death. That way it's gonna look a little more fancy. I would love to add a mirror right there, but there's no point other than the fact that it would look cool. Maybe we add a picture there instead. I really like the tarot pictures from Life and Death, and I think there is one of Vlad. Yep, here it is. He's hanging upside down. I want to say that's the only vampire one. Let me see. Yeah, I do think that's the only one. We are on a stone flooring, so maybe I'll just add a rug. And there's room in here for a small dresser. I want all of these buildings to look nice and old, so I'm adding some of the like vampire wall decals. So there we go. We've got 3 of our hotel rooms, and I'm gonna come up and do the same thing on the 3rd floor. So 3 hotel rooms up here, 3 caskets, basically the same deal, just different colors. Okay, so our vampire hotel is complete. We have 6 rooms, not including the lobby downstairs. And I think there's something so pretty about it. Yes, it is a little dark, but I think these rooms turned out really cool. I realize even though they don't have a bladder, they do still have hygiene, so I'm adding little bathrooms just on like the ends of the hallways here, and these are going to have showers in them. We don't need stinky vampires running around. I'll add robes in them here too. On the upper floor, we could actually even have 2. I'll lay them out like this, so there's 2 doors and 2 extra shower rooms. Moving along though, we've done vampire hotel. Next, I want to do vampire grocery store. We've got this building here, but I'm tempted to put it one over. Maybe someone can be in the middle here, like a different occult fighting for space in this city, and they've decided they're going to take over this building right between the hotel and the grocery store. I don't know which occult I want it to be yet, but I do know I want to include some plasma trees in the grocery store. One time I built a vampire bar and it revolved around plasma like this, and I added the trees on the interior and it looked really cool. So for our grocery store, we're gonna have trees. I've changed some of the lighting to purple, and then in between the trees, I'm gonna add these shelves from Businesses and Hobbies. This is where we can have some stuff for sale. And by the way, when you use these shelves, you don't need a cash register. With Businesses and Hobbies, Sims will just take these right off the shelves and buy them that way. You don't need a cash register to do it. That's Get to Work. And honestly, thank God, because it took so long with Get to Work to cash your Sims out. Now they can just buy them straight off the rack. I'm trying to add these plasma fruit seeds, which in the build menu, they look like this, but when I add them on, they look like garlic, and we can't have that. We can't be selling garlic in a vampire grocery store. So maybe we'll just add the plasma fruit and sell it like on its own here, even though they could pluck it from the trees. And I was thinking about like in a grocery store, you have pictures of food. Like in the one that we built in the upstairs city, I added pictures of like veggies and fish and things like that. And then I was like, what am I gonna do in here? I can't add pictures of plasma fruit. And then it dawned on me, I just need to include pictures of people. They're vampires. This is food. I am gonna add more fridges again just for the plasma element. Also a weird thing, when I go to add the vampire encyclopedias to the businesses and hobbies stands here, they turn into mixology books, which does kind of make sense. Maybe these are cookbooks for plasma recipes. All right, there we go. Vampire grocery store. They have everything they need in here. Plasma wine, plasma juice, and Hugo. And that's where he's gonna be staying. Okay, next. I'm a little torn on which occults to bring into this next. We already know we're gonna have spellcasters because we can't forget about the market. What if we also brought in aliens? Like, okay, the vampires have founded this city. They've been living here forever. It's their city, but eventually, somehow the aliens discovered it and they want to modernize it a little bit. I can't lie, this is a really cool item from Journey to Batu. This is DJ R3X, also known as Rex, and he's gonna be the DJ for our alien nightclub. Oh my gosh, okay, wait, what if instead of having like caged like go-go dancers, stay with me, there were test tube tank go-go dancers? That's a little crazy, but I like it. If we're adding aliens, we need a way for them to get here, so we're gonna need a portal to and from Sixum. So what if this was like alien terminal, like a bus station but for portals for aliens? I'm also adding some graffiti in here, but I also want to keep with some older stuff. Like we can have one of the life and death rugs in here. I want to keep adding more plants in here too, so it's also like a little overgrown, and we'll also add in some life and death torches. So yeah, that's the alien hub, alien bus station, and I'm gonna add neon signs outside theirs. Like we can add an open sign out here. The fairies are gonna be welcome here too, I guess, because their houses are right outside. I've been kind of wanting to bring in like a post-apocalyptic neon sort of feel, so this is a good way to do it. Also from Journey to Batu, I found this. It's a milk stand. I was gonna maybe add this to the market somewhere. I guess I'll just leave it near the front for now. And then for the top floor of the alien nightclub, we could add in a bar. Journey to Batu also has some really cool, weird bar items in debug. This is one of them. So we're gonna place this. That's gonna peek through the ceiling for sure. Actually, no, it didn't. I think it's hidden like underneath the foundation for the museum. So we can keep this giant, unnecessarily oversized bar back. I think it'll save more room if we have bars going straight across though. So we could add 2 of them like this. I'll add some bar stools. The only thing is aliens do in fact need a bathroom, I think. Let's find out. We'll change her over to alien. Oh, okay. And yeah, she's got the same needs as everybody else. So I will build the aliens a bathroom on this floor. I've got this corner here in the alien terminal with not much going on. So I'll just quickly turn this into a bathroom. They can have the talking toilet. I'm imagining them just like bringing stuff from their planet to make the underground city a little more functional, and the vampires just being so mad. But there we go. We've got a little bathroom. I've got room for another small dance floor over to this side. And there we go. Alien bar right next to the vampire hotel. I haven't added anything on top of the grocery store yet other than this rug, which I just keep moving because I don't know what to put up there yet. But I think we're gonna move over to this building, which is only 2 floors. It's on the end and it's near the spellcaster vendors. So I feel like it should be something for spellcasters. You know what I think we do? Let's turn this building over here into a hostel. I kind of like the idea of a hostel where like any occults are welcome, but it'll maybe be a little more run down than the vampire hotel. So I've used these like rougher looking bunk beds from werewolves. I'm also gonna use some torn up rugs here and I'll just like lay them out. I'm kind of just layering them like this. I actually tried the layered rug look in my house recently and it did not work. It's way harder to pull off than it looks. At least for me, like I was trying to do it in my living room, and there's like kind of an art to it too because you need to make sure your top rug doesn't slip. So you have to find a very specific rug to put underneath. Otherwise your rug on top is gonna slip. So you almost need like a natural textured rug, like a jute rug. It's a whole thing I didn't expect, but anyway, this can be our occult hostel upstairs. But then normally in a hostel, there's like a community bathroom area, maybe even like a little lounge or like kitchen. So our bathroom area can be in the back here. Maybe we make some space so we can add a couple more. Sims don't normally take well to the whole communal bathroom situation. So this way each of them can have their own shower. Whenever they go in here, it'll be like a private bathroom, but maybe I'll use vampire branded things. Like they'll have the vampire toilet and the vampire mirror. There are vampire pictures from werewolves with scratches in them. I'm gonna add some of those in the bathrooms. Okay, so we have our hostel bathrooms. There's 3 of them. One with a bathtub, one with a shower, and then the other one is just like a really small, like single toilet bathroom. In this main main room, I feel like we could just get away with like a counter and a mini fridge, maybe like an old microwave on top. We could have a couple old beanbag chairs in here and maybe just an old radio. I'll also add some backpacks on the floor, and there we go. That can be our little occult hostel. All right, let's go across the way. We have this building here, and I think I want to make this into our own occult library slash museum. In the city above ground, I did make a library and museum, so I feel like it would be fun to mirror that a little bit. Getting into this building to show you is a little difficult, and I'm kind of wondering if it has to do with the water above ground, because yeah, we are building directly below the pond for these. And when I built these 3 buildings, I did run into some trouble because of the water above ground, but I'm gonna do my best here. I do want to bring in some more stone from Journey to Batu. I feel like these look good combined with the rest of the stone flooring. We could add some skill items in here like the apothecary table, and I might also go in with some torn Journey to Batu flags. We could add a book in here from vampires, and then for seating, I'm adding in some of these stone benches from Romantic Garden. Okay, so this is our occult library slash apothecary room. We've got a little study in the back there, very cute. But then upstairs, I want to do like a little occult museum. In this city above, I added more historical sort of sculptures, but in here we could have these from vampires, just any like occult looking statues. Maybe we can add an old ripped rug right here, some more torches. So that's our first sculpture area. I would love to be able to have one more desk here, so I'm gonna add a desk with a computer right there. We could also probably fit another bookshelf right here, or we could add some more of the skeletons from Jungle Adventure, some vampire pictures as well. Journey to Batu has this sculpture we can add maybe right here. And isn't there actually a Vlad sculpture? Oh yeah, there is. Here he is. Okay, I'm gonna shrink him a little bit because he's gonna be sticking through the roof, but this is perfect. We could add a couple of the scribbles in here from Life and Death. Even if they're not functional, they could be a sculpture as well. Ooh, and this also from Life and Death. This is a cool one too. Maybe I can also add some of these occult books from Life and Death, and I'm also just adding this sized up weird Journey to Batu sculpture. All right, so we have our occult museum only with occult inspired sculptures. Oh wait, the scrying bowls actually leave a little fog around Vlad. Didn't expect that effect, but I love that. Then over to this side, we've got more of our sculptures. I have this study area in the corner. For this building in the back, I think I want to do an occult restaurant. If we could carve out another space overlooking the rest of the restaurant, like we punch this out, then we can have tables up above, and we could use one of the giant Get Famous chandeliers. Ooh, like this one. This is perfect. Then I finally get to use this rug that I've been dying to use. This back part right here is where I wanted to have my kitchen, but since we're underwater right now, I can't place a door, so I'm just gonna have it open so Sims could walk back there. It'll be like an open concept kitchen. It is a little weird though because I can place items. It's just doors are a problem. I don't know. So back there will be the kitchen. I feel like we should have a couple big tables in here like this, and we can include chairs like these ones from Life and Death. We'll get more room if we flip them around like this. I added some blue curtains in here from vampires, and I'm also adding some artwork from the Crystal Creations kit. I'm also adding some barrel tables in here just so the occult restaurant can also have champagne just like the above ground city. And then on this side, I think I just want a small standing bar. All right, so this is the lower level of our occult restaurant. I like that they're all just big tables. Could be a nice little like social situation. I was hesitant to add the double dragon rug too. Like this is the same rug here, just flipped, but I like it. And maybe the restaurant could be dragon named, like the Two Dragon Restaurant, or I'm sure there's something better than that. But then for the upper floor, I want a similar vibe, like wooden tables. We could even have the same chairs, but they'll just be tables for like 2 Sims. This is where I would be. I want to people watch. I want to look over the balcony. Oh, this item from Dine Out could actually work in here. And then outside on these walkways, I can add menus. I'm also going to add a hostess stand, and we'll add a waiter station here too. And since we are going for the medieval vibe in here, I am going to add in a few more Journey to Batu flags. I'm also adding some benches in here just in case there's like overflow, customers have somewhere to wait, and we need speakers in here. This is such a beautiful restaurant. I want to go here in real life. I just had an idea to put the window boxes from Enchanted by Nature on the interior just for some extra detail, and there we go. I want to go to this restaurant in real life. It ended up looking so good. I especially love the balcony area. We have one more building to go, and I think we have to do an occult wedding venue. Am I going to wreck everything if I expand here? I think think I am. Oh wait, maybe not. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Still no crashes, you guys. Do we take this as a sign? Do we take this even further somehow? But now that I've expanded this, I can add these pews. These are from Get Together. I kind of picture this being a vampire wedding venue, so like we definitely need the gothic kind of like medieval aesthetic. So we've got our aisle, we have our torches, we have our arch. The hotel is right across the street, so I feel like I don't really need to include rooms. Well, actually, you know what? We may have room for one. I'll have to adjust my windows, but we could add a room here. And then similar to the upper city, we can also have a dance floor in here, but this time I want to have an organ. Instead of a piano, these vampire sims are going to be getting down to organ music. Can you imagine? I'm literally just picturing going to a wedding and the only music they play is organ music. I've got room to add one of these. We can also add the fountain. And then do I have room for a tiny bar? I think I can put one in the corner. I'm actually going to use the one from Love Struck right here. All right, so we have our vampire dance area. There are doors leading in here too, so this could just be like a vampire nightclub of some kind, but it is attached to the upstairs of the wedding venue. So of course we need to add a vampire bedroom in the wedding venue. I'm going to use a combination of vampires and Get Together in here. Oh, maybe also we could use some life and death with this rug. This one can have one of the big vampires dressers. They can have a little cozy fireplace in the corner. And I'm also going to add in a couple of these ottomans. And there we go. We've got our old vampires wedding suite. Nice and cozy in here. We've got the fireplace, some flowers. I think what I'm actually going to do is take this room and we'll use this as inspiration because I do still have the upper grocery store apartments I want to do. Like the grocery store leads up here and then we'll have room for 2 apartments. So we'll have one on the 2nd floor and then we'll have one up here on the 3rd floor too. For these apartments, I'm essentially just giving them like really fancy bathrooms with like just a bath in it. Maybe I'll give them some robes on this side. But yeah, essentially just fancy bathroom. I could section the apartment off this way so they actually get a fancy bed. It actually looks really pretty from the back. So like I could just use this as a divider. Otherwise, I was just considering adding a bookshelf. Then we could add some seating here. I'm adding this one from the Crystal Creations kit. We can do a little rug right here. I could fit a frame TV. Is that too modern for our vampires? I mean, I guess they don't have to follow the rules. This could even be a younger vampire living here. They don't follow the older vampire rules. They could be friends with one of the aliens and they just happen to sneak them over a TV. And it's framed so they can hide it if they have to. It's a very complicated city structure we're living in down here. But there we go. This is our first vampire apartment. They've got the bookshelf, they've got the hidden frame TV, comfy bed. Maybe the younger vampires sleep in an actual bed and then the older ones prefer to sleep in caskets. And then this apartment can be more for the traditional vampire. They have the coffin bed. They can have a kitchen right here. And I wonder if these occults are like happy living down here, like if they have no interest in taking over the upper city, or maybe once all of these occults living here finally come together, then they could take over the upper city. Who knows? Maybe the story isn't over yet for this massive world, but this is our second vampire apartment, our more traditional vampire apartment. No TV in here, nothing like that. They do have a bookshelf. They also have a similar bathroom going on over here. They've got their coffin, their little kitchen, and there's a little dining area over here. The final things I did still want to include somewhere are the magic realm portals. I wanted to put them beside these stalls, but they are kind of big and they will go through my flooring. So I think I can just put one right here. Maybe I'll also put some statues beside it. And there we go. That is our giant underground city complete. I hope you guys like this video. I don't know if we're closing the book on this world yet. Wait, it's raining in the city upstairs. Look how eerie it looks. This is a sign. Maybe we're not complete. I do still have some townhouses to complete over here. So let me know what you guys want to see included there. If you didn't watch this 24-hour build video, I will link that down below. Okay, whoa, I've never done this before, but I just went into first person mode with the Sims 4 camera and look at the cathedral and the markets. I wanted Hugo's perspective from one of the bridges, and okay, here we go. I don't want to move this around too much because we'll all be sick, but this turned out so good. But that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.